This is the plaintiff, Jennifer Ryan. She says the defendant, her ex-fiancé's brother, has furniture in his apartment that she's paying for, and he won't let her in to take it. She's lived with him at one point, along with her fiancé, but her fiancé hooked up with the defendant's ex-wife, and the whole thing's one big mess. Bottom line, she's owed $5,000, the cost of the furniture. This is the defendant, Luis Gonzalez. He says his brother and the plaintiff lived with him for a time, and everything was fine until his brother cheated on the plaintiff. They broke up soon after, and she rather slowly moved out. She kept coming back and taking things in drips and drabs. Finally, he told her to get a truck and retrieve everything, which she did, and that was that. Now she's saying he has her furniture? Huh? He's accused of locking a girl out.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order now. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Jennifer Ryan, you are suing Luis Gonzalez for $5,000. According to you, your damages exceed that by several thousand for furniture that he will not allow you to retrieve that you say was left in his apartment. Now, this is a long and winding story, and why don't you start by telling me how you two know each other?
I know Luis because I know his ex-wife. I've been friends with her for many years. And that's pretty much how I know him.
Okay.
I then met his brother.
When did you meet his brother?
In 2004.
Okay, how did you meet his brother?
Through his ex-wife, through Luis's ex-wife.
How? Tell me about it.
He was incarcerated for a misdemeanor.
Incarcerated for a misdemeanor? Mm-hmm. How? Okay.
And I became his pen pal, pretty much. And
what was the misdemeanor he was incarcerated for?
I don't really think I don't really want to particularly discuss that.
What was the misdemeanor he was incarcerated for? What's the big deal? It's a misdemeanor. What was your brother incarcerated for?
Manslaughter.
How is manslaughter a misdemeanor? How is manslaughter a misdemeanor?
Well, because I currently didn't want that to come out.
So you just lied to me and said he was incarcerated for a misdemeanor? So under oath, you did just place her under oath, right?
I did.
So you just lie if it's convenient for you because you didn't want that to come out? Are you kidding me?
Sorry.
How long was he in custody for the misdemeanor?
17 years.
17 years. Mm-hmm. So he had been in custody for how long when you met him?
I'm not sure how long he'd already been there for when I met him.
Okay, he got out what year?
2009.
So from 2004 to 2009, that was your boyfriend?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, how close a friend were you of ex-wife?
Very close. I worked for her.
You worked for her, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, his brother gets out, and what happens? He gets out when again? 2009?
October 16th, 2009.
Okay, and what happened?
Released. He then moved in with Luis and his wife and resigned there until the end of November. And there was a discrepancy between Luis and his wife where...
What was the discrepancy?
In other words, Vincent and I were asked to leave the home, and Christina had
because
also
what?
asked. Because Christina was kicking Luis out.
Because what?
Because he cheated on her.
With somebody, he cheated on her, so Christina was kicking Luis out.
And asked Vincent and I to leave
as
well. So
go on.
Vincent and I then in turn moved in with my parents.
Okay.
And in the interim of that, Luis had decided to look for a place and had asked us if we would move in with him.
Okay.
Because obviously we couldn't start off on our own, so we agreed. And he...
This is, he gets out October of 09, when is this now?
December.
Okay, so it's very quickly, okay.
Right. But Vincent and I ended up moving in together on January 1st.
And the reason why you did that is because you couldn't really afford to be on your own yet.
Correct.
And so just starting out, you needed to sort of, I guess, was he helping you guys with the rent, or it's just that you needed a roommate?
Vincent and I paid our own way, and we split the rent half with Lewis.
So then what happened?
Then my fiance and I decided that
When did you become a fiance?
on February 14th.
Okay.
2 weeks later, we decided that we needed our space because things had been moving too
From
fast.
him?
Right, from each other.
From each other?
Yes.
2 weeks after the engagement?
Yes. Okay?
After you waited for this guy for 5 years?
Yes.
A prisoner loves his woman when that's his only contact with the outside world, when that's the person who will pick up the phone when they call collect. Okay, so you decide you want your space. Why?
Because things were just not working out as to planned.
Did something happen?
I didn't know of, something did happen, but I didn't know of it at that time.
What did you find out later?
That he had partied with Lewis's ex-wife.
Meaning been with her? Romantically?
I'm not too sure about that.
But you think that's what it is.
Yes.
So did you break up with him?
I left him, yes.
Okay. So you guys decide to break up, and what happens?
Vincent and I had made an agreement that we were going to split our things. I left the home.
What things?
Our valuables that we bought for the home.
Okay, what did you buy for the home?
We bought furniture, electronics.
Is that the
and home
$7,000 something dollars worth of stuff?
Mm-hmm.
You got yourselves behind the 8 ball by $7,500 on a guy who you lasted 2 weeks on an engagement with. Doesn't sound like such a great idea right now, does it?
No.
Can I see the receipts for the furniture? Mm-hmm. So you guys decide that you end up taking
It's
some
just the
furniture,
furniture. Nope.
right?
Nope.
You don't take anything at all.
I have nothing.
So how are you going to split your stuff?
When I left initially, I had made an agreement with Vincent that him and I were going to split up some of the items that we purchased for our home
Okay.
together.
Right. And
Okay.
so split up some of the items means what?
Meaning I would take some furniture and maybe, and just a few other electronical things that
Okay,
he
did
had.
you take those things?
No, I did
Why
not.
not?
Because he told me that he had to overspeak it with Lewis as far as getting my couch back. And
Why?
that
If you bought-
because
if you
Lewis had said to me in previous conversation that anything that I had left that he would compensate me for.
Okay, can you prove that? Because I got a feeling we're going to have a dispute about that.
Prove.
Can you prove the discussion you had with the defendant where he agreed to pay you for
No,
stuff
I
that
cannot.
Vincent didn't pay you for? Because in the end, what you agreed with Vincent is that Vincent would pay you for stuff that he kept, correct?
Correct.
And Vincent has not paid you a penny, has he?
A little bit, not a lot.
What's he paid?
He's giving me about $1,000.
Mr. Gonzalez, she says you have her furniture.
I do not.
What's going on? Did you have a good relationship with your brother?
Okay.
What was the manslaughter? Can you just give me a rough idea of what the manslaughter was? Was it a bar fight? What was it?
Domestic.
Domestic. Mm-hmm. Domestic. Did she know that?
Oh, yeah.
What attracts you to a guy who's in custody for killing someone he's involved with romantically? Is that what you meant by domestic?
Uh-huh.
Who are you? Who are all of you? Who are you guys? You guys are what? Her friends?
Friends.
Okay. Is any of this a surprise to anybody, or you guys know all these facts? Surprise?
He told her that
I can't hear you from there. You have to stand up if you want to talk.
she believed him, Vincent, that he didn't do it. That's what he told her, and she did believe him. That it was
Did you
an
meet him?
accident.
Did you meet him? Just.
Yeah, he's a con artist.
Did you know her during the time where she was like patiently waiting for him, or no?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, go ahead and come back. Go ahead.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Okay, well, you know, that he's not a con artist, or that he's.
Oh, he is a con artist,
Okay.
but she was fully aware of exactly what he did because her parents and my ex-wife went to Westchester and pulled the records and read every last one of them.
When did they do that? You mean before she started dating him, during her dating him, or
During her
after
dating
he got
him.
out?
During.
All right, so now he gets out, and you allow them to move in with you in your happy little home. So how'd that go?
Me and my soon-to-be ex-wife were already going through problems and had already agreed that I was leaving and that our marriage was a mutual agreement.
Okay.
That I was leaving after the holidays so we can have the holidays so everything's semi-normal for the holidays. In the interim, I signed a lease on December 1st and had my guys start working on the house, getting things in order so that all three of us can
What
have a
profession
comfortable
are you
house.
in?
I'm a contractor.
A contractor, okay. So she's under the impression that your ex-wife then had a thing with your brother. Did that happen?
Something happened, but
But you don't really care.
Yeah, really.
So you don't really think it's like disloyal of your brother?
Nah, I killed two birds with one stone.
You killed two birds with one, you got rid of both
Yeah,
of them.
right, exactly.
Did he move out?
Yes, he did.
Did you throw him out?
No, he moved out. He moved
And
in. He actually has another girlfriend that's pregnant right now.
Oh, for the love of God. Are you and your brother on speaking terms? Is your brother here?
No,
Oh. Are you and your brother on speaking terms?
not really.
Tell me about this furniture.
Well, Jen came back a whole bunch of times to get stuff. What she was doing was lingering because she wanted Vincent back no matter what. I mean, it's just plain and simple. You know, it was the old, I got my clothes, then I came back for a bird cage and my bird, then I came back for some Tupperware and cookware, and then finally she came back with her brother and a truck. She took a bunch of stuff.
Did she take furniture?
Entertainment center, a TV, a stereo, some stuff. I don't know what she took because her and Vincent were together and I don't want to be in their business. But I can't have the bickering in my house by the same token. So I told her, Jen, is that everything? And she said, yep, everything that's mine. I said, okay, fine. I mean, you know.
Did you ever tell her I'll pay you for some furniture if he doesn't?
No. That's getting misconstrued. I didn't tell her that.
What did you say that she's misconstruing?
She purchased some stuff for the living room, the upstairs living room. 2 end tables, a center table, and a table for the front entranceway, which I told her that I would compensate her for because those were the things that were left in my house.
As opposed to what?
As opposed to the rest of her and Vincent's stuff that Vincent took with him.
Okay, so she took a bunch of stuff. According to you, she tells you, yes, I'm done. He takes, well, everything else that's left is Vincent's. Vincent takes everything but a table, an end table, and the other table. What were you going to pay her for that stuff that you ended up keeping? Did you ever talk about it with her?
No, we never discussed it.
All right, now let me ask you a question. Why aren't you suing Vincent? By the way,
Because
do you know about the pregnant new girlfriend or
my
no?
furniture is in Mr. Gonzalez's house.
Did you know about the pregnant new girlfriend, or was that a surprise?
No, I knew about that.
You knew about that. All right. Do you still talk to Vincent or no?
Yes, I do.
How do you figure? What makes you say that all of your furniture, because you're suing him for all of the furniture?
It's not only just my furniture, it's the electronics that Vincent purchased with my credit card.
No, but you're suing for all this furniture. You handed me all these receipts. I assume
Yes.
that's how you plan to get to $5,000 worth of merchandise.
No, I have more.
Where's the bedroom? Who has the bedroom stuff?
It's at Lewis's house.
Okay, so what isn't at Lewis's house?
Everything is at Lewis's
So
house.
you're saying Vincent never took anything
Vincent
out?
did-
And you're
Lewis
saying
dropped
that's
off-
not true?
Lewis dropped
Do you have an
off-
affidavit from Vincent?
I
May
do,
see
Your
it?
Honor.
Late in February, me and Jen split up. She moved back with her family. She came back to the house on 4 occasions. On the 28th, when she came with the truck and her brother, when she was getting ready to leave, my brother Lewis asked her, Jen, is that everything? Because I'm not going to have this in and out of my house. And her reply was, yeah, everything that's mine. The rest of the stuff is his. Lewis called me shortly after I moved out and told me I have 30 days to get my stuff out because a friend was moving in. I told him it's not my stuff, it's Jen's, so call her. He called her, then called me back and told me he left numerous messages for her to get her stuff out. So did he take the stuff or didn't he? I know you told him he had 30 days, but what ended up happening?
About 2 weeks later, the stuff was gone.
Okay.
So, and I have pictures, Your Honor, of what the room that they lived in looks like now, and I have pictures of my basement now, so
And what's that relevant to?
it's relevant to where their furniture used to be.
Okay. What did you take? If all this stuff is still there, can I ask you what you took in 4 trips?
I had to go back to get my clothing, and I had to go back to get
You
items
took
that
your
I
clothing
took
instead of the Wii? Instead of, like, you know, a TV? Instead of...
because Vincent and I did not come to an agreement yet on what was going to be split.
Did you have an affidavit you wanted to submit to the court?
I do.
Can't see it? Who's that from?
I have one from Vincent's mother.
Is Vincent's mother Lewis's mother?
Yep. And one from my...
Okay, wait. Did you know that was gonna... Is there just no... Your lives, it's honestly... Because you come up here looking like librarians and just talking like librarians, and then the stuff coming out of your mouths is like... In this case, it's like... Go ahead, hand it up. Did you know that this was... Or no?
Your Honor, I don't speak to these people.
You don't speak to your mom?
No.
That's sort of sad.
Now, not if you knew my mother.
Lewis kept all the furniture and household items and changed her locks and refused to give... She owns this only because you tell her.
No, she knew that because that's what Vincent had said to her, and that's what Vincent's sister had told her.
Okay, this is the problem with hearsay. You know, it's small claims, and we relax the rules, and we'll accept affidavits and stuff like that. But when someone just talks, just says all the facts, and don't tell me how they know it, I have no idea how she knows it.
Okay,
She doesn't
well,
know it from first hand. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to assume that here's what happened. Okay, that there's furniture in that house.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Would you ever be engaged to somebody who was serving time or had served time for killing somebody he was romantically involved with?
No, I would not.
Why?
Because that's crazy. He could end up killing me, and then, like, he could be lying.
Okay, fair enough. Well, right, but what if he really is convincing that he didn't really kill this other person?
I wouldn't believe him.
You still wouldn't believe him?
I wouldn't.
Was there anything he could say to convince you otherwise?
No, unless,
Dum dum dum. What?
unless he wasn't convicted in this case.
Well, he was convicted.
He was, so then he...
Tough luck.
Yeah.
Sayonara. Going inside the courtroom.
You have a couple of problems, not the least of which is that I have a credibility issue with you, okay? Or you, better said, have a credibility issue with me. Because anybody who looks me in the eye after being placed under oath and says he's incarcerated for a misdemeanor, and when I find out it's manslaughter and not a misdemeanor, and you look me right in the eye and say, I didn't want that to come out, is a person who will say what she needs to say in order to get what she wants. When you had to know that when you decided to file a lawsuit, that a lot of these facts were going to end up coming out. But you decided that you would tell me that it was a misdemeanor, hoping nobody else would mention it, and that you wouldn't be embarrassed. So it was more important to you to say what you wanted so you'd be comfortable than to tell me the truth when you're under oath. And that's a problem for you. Number two, I believe that you and Vincent eventually came to an agreement about the furniture in that house. And I believe that Vincent hasn't ponied up what he needs to pony up. So you got to go sue Vincent. You don't turn around and sue him. Number three, I believe that Vincent cleared that stuff out. But if Vincent didn't clear that stuff out, go battle this out with Vincent, who was still living there when you moved out. But in 3 or 4 opportunities that you had to take stuff out, I think anything that you didn't take out was stuff that, according to you, Vincent is supposed to pay you for. Pay you your half of it. That's what you guys ended up agreeing. Okay, I'm going to take some stuff, you're going to take some stuff, whatever we take, each of us is going to pay the other one for half of it. You're trying to resolve it. That's a very reasonable way to resolve it, and so long as it happens. In your case, it didn't happen. So you're mad at Vincent for that, but you're scared of Vincent, or you still love Vincent. I don't know which it is, but you're not willing to go against Vincent. You're willing to go against him. You need to go against Vincent. And Vincent needs to pay you his half of the stuff that you gave him on that last day when you said, that's it, we're done. That's it, we're done. Because if you weren't, first of all, you have no right to go 4 times to clear out your stuff. If it was a landlord, you certainly couldn't do that. But if you go 3 or 4 times to clear out your stuff, I pretty much assume you're done. Okay? I pretty much assume that his version of those facts are correct. That you said, yes, I'm done, the rest is Vincent's. All right? That furniture was very recently purchased, right?
Correct.
I'm going to order you to pay her for the tables that we're talking about, which is a total of $323.29. Only because he says, I told her I'd pay her for those. Because, you know, if he stood here and said, I don't know what she's talking about, you wouldn't even be getting that. I don't know, Ms. Ryan, I don't know, you know, lots of times I'll sit here and I'll look at a plaintiff and I'll say, did you learn something? I don't even know where to begin with you, with all the things that went wrong. Getting engaged to a guy who 2 weeks later you find out is, maybe you didn't know him that well. Maybe they're one person when you don't know them at all because they're geographically, you know, undesirably incarcerated, and the person is another person when they're out because they've been incarcerated for 17 years and they want to get themselves something. You know? You 4 ladies, you have a job, and that is to reconstruct whatever dignity she has left into a whole human being. Will you do that? Okay, fabulous. In the meantime, I'm ordering you to pay the plaintiff for the tables that did remain in your apartment, $323.29, and for anything else you will have to go after Vincent, the rare and elusive Vincent.
Let's first find out what the defendant has to say about all this testimony and the outcome of this case.
It's a sad thing. She just went after the wrong guy.
Yeah, have you completely disowned Vincent?
Pretty much.
Really? I mean, that's your brother. How do you do that?
Wasn't easy.
We've given him many chances, right?
Exactly.
And you don't have another chance in you for him?
Maybe, someday.
Would you help her go after Vincent if she needed your help in the courtroom?
I've helped her in the past.
So?
So, yes, of course I would.
Okay. All right. Head right around the corner down there. Thank you very much. All right, so come on in here. Here she is, the plaintiff. How are you feeling coming out of the courtroom after this?
Oh, I kind of figured that he was going to pull the things that he pulled and pull the strings that he pulled.
Who? Him?
Yes.
What did he pull?
A lot of lies.
Are you going to go after Vincent now?
Yes, I am.
Mm-hmm. You still love Vincent?
No, I do not.
No?
Nope.
You feel your dignity's intact here?
Absolutely. If anything, he taught me a very valuable lesson.
Which is?
Never get involved with a con.
Okay, Harvey.
Okay, so here's the thing. If you lie about something in court, even if it's a minor little thing, it will destroy your credibility. So think about that. And that will do it for this case. Litigants, for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.